Cody in the morning. WSM. This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Well, welcome in, everybody. Everybody joining us on CircleCountry.com around the country, and maybe Peacock or Roku as well. I'm Charlie Mattos. That's Amber Anderson. Annie Nye is behind the board at Master Control. Jeff Roberts is pushing all the buttons, making all the pretty faces happen on TV, except for me this morning. Wherever you are, I hope you have a slightly nicer day than we do here in Nashville. We had a lot of rain yesterday. It was very dreary, and this morning still kind of dreary here on the Opry Plaza. But we got a lot of fun stuff, though. So that always kind of helps alleviate the drive. I had 2 cups of coffee, going to have a third really soon.
Yeah.
Very excited to visit with Ronnie McDowell.
Yeah.
Because he has been, he's been a guest with us so many times through the year, and was a performer on our Durango CMA stage for years as well. And he's just one of the good guys. But back in July, he was on stage and suffered a stroke during a performance and just knew that something wasn't right, And I was just chatting with him, and you would never know. Looks as
so
great
good.
as ever, but I can't wait to catch up with him, and he's got a lot of shows. And then Jenny Tolman a little bit later on this morning. She's featured on the new CBS show The Road with, of course, Keith Urban and Blake Shelton. And you got a lot of fun stuff and entertainment. Dolly's in the news.
Dolly's in the news. We love when Dolly's in the news for good things.
Yeah.
Like, she's doing well. She's thriving.
That's right.
She's opening a new hotel here in downtown Nashville. So we're going to talk about that. And then we've got Halloween tomorrow. So I know some people might be looking for some last minute costume ideas. So we'll help with that a little bit. We've got a fun story about Luke Combs costumes. So
okay.
We'll talk about that. And then, anytime there's a gator story in the news, I'm going to take it. So we're going to talk about an alligator.
The reptile, not the university.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, that too. But the reptile.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. The university hasn't done too well this year.
We don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. On that note. Hey.
From the Assembly Food Hall acoustic desk, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
It is always great to see Ronnie McDowell sitting here at our WSM studios, but actually in 2025, it is extra great to see Ronnie McDowell sitting at our Assembly Food Hall desk here at our WSM studios. First off, welcome to Mr. Acuff's house. This is your first time with us in our new studio home.
Yes, and I just think it's absolutely beautiful. I was on the Ralph Emery show one night, and Roy was living here, and Ralph Emery said, "Ronnie, who do you like in country music?" And I said, "Well, first of all, Hank Williams and Roy Acuff." So 5 minutes later, swear to you, he just came in and sat down on the couch. Unannounced.
Well, he was close by, right?
Yep.
Yeah. People don't realize that the house was just not named after him, but he lived in the Opryland theme park. It'd be like living at Disney World.
Yeah.
It's just such a cool thing. So, well, we got a lot to catch up about. You got some upcoming shows, including one that features some of your artwork, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But we just got to start with take me back to July of this year, and you are on stage, and they always say life can change on a dime, and yours did.
Well, it did, and I was fumbling and stumbling words, and I was wondering why my brain wasn't catching up with my words. Mm-hmm. And so my son, who's my drummer, Ronnie, he got up from behind the drums, and he said, "Dad, are you okay?" And I said, "No, son, I think I'm having a stroke."
Wow. So you were aware something was wrong.
Yeah, I knew that. I literally knew I was having a stroke. So they rushed me to the hospital, and I was there for 3 days. And I just went back from a checkup 2 weeks ago, and the surgeon, now get this, she's 38, absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And so just before she put the mask on me, I said, "Christine, please tell me this is not your first rodeo." I mean, she was 38. Yeah. She said, "Ronnie, I've done quite a few." So then she woke me up, and she said, "Ronnie, I got to put you back to sleep and cut you back open because you've got a blood clot forming, and we got to wash it out." And I said,
gosh.
"Okay, put me back to sleep."
Yeah, I don't want to be awake for that part, please.
No, so 2 weeks ago, I went back for a checkup, and she said, "I understand you got 2 shows this weekend." I said, "Yeah, Mississippi and Georgia with my friend Neil McCoy." She said, "Do not let those girls get your heart rate up."
But the funny thing is, you said you actually feel better now than before because of the severe blockage that helped cause all those issues, right?
Before that, for years, 2, 3, 4 years, I was tired a lot, and a lot of brain fog. And now I understand exactly what it was, because I don't have that anymore, and I'm doing my push-ups, sit-ups. I'm walking 2 miles every day and pull-ups, so I'm back to doing what I normally, but it's even better now.
Yeah. Isn't it funny that you're kind of like what happened to Phil Vassar? You know, Phil Vassar looked like the healthiest guy on the planet, and then out of nowhere, it debilitating. I mean, he died essentially twice, and they brought him back both times. But sometimes you can tell someone is unhealthy, and then sometimes you seem like the healthiest guy in the world, and out of nowhere, here it comes.
Yeah, because I've always I don't eat cows and pigs, and I've always taken care of myself. In 1977, when I was on the road and had my first hit with The King Is Gone, I got on the bus, and I was 26, and everybody on the bus, they said, well, Ronnie's on a diet. We're all going to starve. Well, guess what? They're all gone because of lifestyle. I've always taken care of me, because ain't nobody going to do it but me, if you think about it, Charlie.
Right.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. We are only a couple of weeks away from Veterans Day, November 11th, always 11/11. And a lot of people may not know this, but you are a Vietnam vet who served 2 tours, right, if I remember correctly? 3. Wow.
Yeah, I landed in Saigon October the 26th, 1968. And when I got out of the hospital up in Pennsylvania, I went to my favorite restaurant, and I opened the door for these 2 older gentlemen. But I always say, come on in, young fellas. Well, I had my Vietnam hat on. And this older fellow looked up at me. He said, when was you in Vietnam? I said, I landed in Saigon, October the 26th, 1968. He goes, how old are you, son? I said, I just turned 75. He said, again, when were you in Vietnam? I said, 1968. I was 18. He said, well, I'm just going to have to tell you, you sure don't look it. And I said, well, actually, I'm a time traveler.
Back to the future, right? Yeah. I'm Marty. Good to meet you. So,
which is a compliment.
Yeah.
But it just shows you. But I had high cholesterol in the family, so it's genetics. But I never wanted to get on a statin, but my friend Mike Kerb and Linda Kerb, who I just re-signed with last year,
right?
And he told me, said, Ronnie, me and Linda have been taking statins for 5 years. We don't have any problem. So I went back and had my blood drawn again 2 weeks ago, and my cholesterol is normal.
That's incredible. Did you, that day when you were going out on stage, did you notice anything was different? Or was it when you were actually out there performing, you started feeling like something's not right?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I was in Shreveport the day before. And then we rode from Shreveport, Louisiana, all the way to Pennsylvania. And I slept in the bus. But I went backstage in Shreveport, and I was talking to 2 friends of mine. And again, I could not connect the words with my brain. And I was like, why am I stumbling my words? So I thought it was just kind of something that would wear off. So the next day, that's when it happened, and I did it on stage. And But I don't know. Isn't that crazy that I knew I was having a stroke?
Yeah. Wow. You referenced The King Is Gone, and I remember being, I guess I would have been, let's see, 77, would have been 13 going up in Providence,
Rhode
Island.
Hear that,
well, okay. But I remember hearing The King Is Gone for the first time on the radio. It would have been 63 WPRO in Providence. That was the big station we listened to every morning. And not only was I a huge Elvis fan and instantly fell in love with this song, but also enamored by how much your voice truly sounded like Elvis on that song. I mean, it was a winner on every level possible. So just talk about what Elvis meant in your life and what that song meant to you.
Well, I was over by Metro Center, and I just rehearsed with my band. It was August 16th, 1977.
Yep.
And I turned the radio on, and it was 2:22 in the afternoon. The reason I know that is because that's my number. I see it all the time. Twice yesterday. Woke up at 12:22, woke up at 2:22, and I went, I'm going to go buy me a lottery ticket.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
So anyway, the DJ goes, Elvis Presley has passed away. Before I got to Bowling Green, Charlie, I was going, and I was a songwriter. I'd written songs for the Wilburn Brothers, Roy Drusky, Jeannie Shepherd, and I love writing songs, which I still do. Well, I went like this. I was barely 6 years old when I first heard him sing. And somehow I knew from that moment on it'd be a lifetime thing. Every bit of that just came to me. And still to this day, it was like a feeling. Little did I know, 1 week later, it would sell 1 million records. In a week. 2 weeks later, I was on American Bandstand with Dick Clark. And Dick Clark walked up to me. He said, Ronnie, I flew you out here because you've sold 2 million records in 2 weeks. He said, that's unheard of. I said, Mr. Clark, I said, I've been watching you since 1957. I'm so glad y'all pantomime. He said, Ronnie, we don't do that anymore. I said, please don't tell me that.
Oh, you got to sing it live? That's why.
He said, when that red light comes on, this is verbatim what he said, there'll be 80 million people watching you. He said, you'll have cue cards underneath the camera. He said, you'll do fine. If you look at me, Google me singing that song on American Bandstand, I looked like I knew what I was doing, but inside I was petrified, but I never missed a note.
Wow.
So I think Elvis was hanging out.
I would be purely panicked.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Well, this is a great live version of this song. This is Ronnie McDowell and The King Is Gone on America's country station, WSM.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Our Assembly Food Hall desk, and great to visit with Ronnie McDowell this morning. And you were talking about being busy. You got a busy schedule coming up. You were spending Halloween right across the street from us over at the Troubadour on Music Valley Drive.
Yep, that's tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, my friend T.G. Shepard, I'm filling in for him. He's had some health issues, and so I'll be 20 miles from Tupelo down Mississippi at the Tammy Wynette Museum.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Well,
Saturday.
Well, we were just talking Elvis, and Tupelo is ground zero for early Elvis, too.
Born and raised in Tupelo.
And then you got a cool event coming up November the 7th. It's a mistletoe event, meet and greet at Our Lady of the Lake Church in Hendersonville. But we've talked in the past, but we haven't this morning yet. Not only is Ronnie a great vocalist and songwriter, right, but your artwork is just phenomenal, and a lot of that will be featured on November the 7th.
Yeah, I'm taking a lot of my new art paintings, finishing up 2 right now, but the biggest selling painting I've ever done, and this is the craziest thing, I call it the new Uber driver. And it's 1956 Elvis. He's in a 47 Plymouth, and he's turning around with his hand on the seat like, hey, baby, where you want to go? And the girl that bought the last one, I'm up to number 17, and they're $2,500 a piece.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So the girl that bought the last one down in Georgia with my friend Neil McCoy, I said, well, you know, he's the new Uber driver. Where would you like him to take you? She said, heaven.
I love that. Oh, that's great. Do you find it therapeutic, painting? Do you enjoy? I mean, obviously, you must enjoy it, and you're really good at it.
Well, no offense against all of my friends in the business, but when I paint, I put on Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. It's the music my parents grew up with, and it's so soothing, like Stardust, Frank Sinatra. And I paint with that soothing music, and I'm going to tell you what, Jay, it's an escape. It really, truly is.
I tell people all the time, I am like a hobbyist. I needlepoint. That's like my thing. And like just tapping into anything creative, obviously as a musician, that's a separate kind of creative muscle.
Sure. Yeah.
But artistry and working with your hands and doing something is so therapeutic. I tell everybody, get a hobby that you have to just sit and do something with your hands. So you're not doom scrolling. It just kind of takes you away. And I have to imagine that, I mean, anytime I meet an artist, I'm like, I have so much admiration because I can't draw to save my life. I've tried.
Maybe Amber trade you a nice homemade Afghan for one of them prints. What is it?
Yeah.
We're going to work a swap shop deal here.
I can't crochet. Well, I can crochet, but just not well. But I think that it is just, there is something really special, specifically now, as you're trying to take care of yourself and as you're trying to lean into more of that self-care, that has to be such a special time for yourself.
Well, it truly is, and like I said, it's an escape. And the other thing that I do, we talked earlier, is I take care of me so I can continue painting and traveling and doing what I love to do since I first heard Hank Williams in 1953 at 3 years old. right at that moment, I knew that I wanted to be a singer.
Wow.
And I walked around the house at 3 years old singing "Your Cheating Heart."
Wow. Yeah. Well, we were all worried about you this summer, but then I remember about 2 weeks after the stroke, you were in a park, you were doing your cardio, you were doing a selfie video, and I told Bill, I said, I think Ronnie's going to be okay. I think Ronnie's going to be okay. What was it like the first time back on stage, though, after that? I mean, you had to feel the love from the crowd, I'm sure, but were you a little nervous?
Well, the place was packed, and I think people came to see if I was going to live.
Yeah.
And I never will forget, I got out of the hospital up in Pennsylvania, and Ronnie Dean, my son, and Tyler were with me, and Dad, he goes, Dad, you're in Rolling Stone. You're in Billboard. You're on Fox News. He said, Dad, maybe you might ought to have a stroke more often.
Well, if you make it through, it is good publicity, right? So, oh, gosh. Well, we're going to wrap up and maybe play something that people have never heard before. And I did not realize this, but you and the late, great Johnny Rodriguez got together, and this is Johnny's final recording.
The final recording, and also my friend Rodney Collins, who owns the Music City Bar and Grill and the Troubadour. Rodney's also a singer, and so I got him to do it with us, and it just turned out absolutely beautiful. But I got to tell you, Dolly Parton, I'm on her new Rockstar album.
Oh, yep,
So called me up and said, can you believe that me and you are on an album with the Beatles? I said, I had no earthly idea I was going to be on your album. She wrote the duet that we're doing, and she said, guess who track 28 is? And I said, I don't have a clue. She said, Paul McCartney. Oh. She's got everybody on there. Ringo Starr, Fleetwood Mac, Elton John. And still to this day, I wake up every morning like, what in the world am I doing on an album with Judas Priest?
Life's a wild ride, right? So, well, we're going to close with you and the late, great Johnny Rodriguez this morning.
It's my favorite thing right now. I just love it.
Yep. Halloween night at the Troubadour, and then
night.
November the 7th at the Our Lady of the Lake Church in Hendersonville. You can get a look at all the great artwork. My friend, it's always great to see you, and never enough time.
Well, but I tell you what, I just appreciate it, and what a treat to see all of you. Thank you.
All
Thanks for being here.
Brand new from Ronnie McDowell and Johnny Rodriguez. They are part of our Opry Next Stage class. That is 49 Winchester from the stage of the Grand Ole Opry, and they will be at our most famous former home for 2 shows in November, the Ryman Auditorium, November 14th and 15th. Nolene Hoffman's going to open that show on the 14th. Then our longtime friend Kelsey Walden is going to open the show on the 15th. So those guys are fantastic. Amber Anderson in for entertainment this morning. I'm a big Dolly fan, and I love Dollywood.
Yep.
And I have stayed at both Dreammore and Heart Song, the 2 Dolly resorts on the Dollywood property. But now you tell me I don't have to drive all that way to stay at a Dolly property.
That's right. Go right into downtown Nashville, and you can stay at the new Songteller Hotel. This is very, very exciting. And they just announced that reservations are open for June of 2026. I think everyone around here was like, when is it going to open? When can we book our room? When can we get there?
Hey, that's a summer vacation. That's not that. People are already planning.
Oh, yeah. They are jumping on this. Yep. So 245 rooms and suites available in the hotel. She says she's very excited about the opening of this Nashville hotel. And the bonus, there's a museum. There's a museum, the Life of Many Colors Museum. It is going to be the largest display of Dolly memorabilia anywhere. It's going to be 20,000 square feet.
Wow. And it's beautiful. It's elegant. It's old school. It's modern. It's Dolly all at the same time.
Yeah. I've seen videos of renderings and she's going to put her touch on absolutely everything. So going to the hotels at Dollywood, what's the difference in the two?
Well, Dreammore was the first.
Right.
At Heart Song is a little more lodge-like.
Okay.
Whereas Dreammore is, I wouldn't say more modern, but it's just a slightly different feel. And it's so funny. I love them both. My wife loves Heart Song, My Son Loves Dream More. So, we can't make everybody happy, right?
Do you just rotate?
Yeah,
every
well,
time you go?
they're literally like, a football field or two apart. They're very close.
Yeah.
So, but you get great perks when you stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the free Time Saver bands, and you get 20% off, and they got the cinnamon bread right there.
I was going to say, where is the cinnamon bread?
Oh, yeah.
I know I want some.
So
We've talked about it so much this morning.
So where's the hotel in downtown?
Downtown, I believe it's Commerce and between Commerce and 2nd and 3rd, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Right near the Sbarro.
Yes. like across from CMT.
Yeah,
kind of
I
down
know
there.
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's where Old Crow used to busk all the time, right across from the
Crazy.
Sbarro. So listen,
All the Sbarro.
don't mock me over there, Missy, for like knowing my food
I love
references.
Sbarro.
I'm glad you know where the Sbarros are in town.
Okay, what are you going to be for Halloween, Charlie?
Oh, if I have to be something, I haven't figured it out.
Oh,
yet.
okay.
I'm going to be giving the candy.
Okay, so you're not going to dress up. You're just going to be
I
at the door.
I enjoy. We've determined that while I thought I didn't enjoy Halloween, I truly do. I just don't enjoy the dressing up part. I like seeing people's costumes. I like handing out the candy. I enjoy the whole evening. I am thrilled that Jackson likes it so
Yeah.
much. He is the plague doctor. They allow him to dress up at school today, so he is the
Okay.
plague doctor.
Today?
Yeah.
Not tomorrow?
He's off tomorrow. Tomorrow's parent-teacher conference day. So
Wow.
They're like, we don't want to deal with
They're
these
never in.
kids
right, yeah,
on Halloween day.
you keep them. Yeah.
Keep them at home.
Yeah.
You're going to be
A minion.
A
You're
a
minion.
minion, yeah.
I am not dressing up.
What the heck, you guys?
It's just not my thing.
Neither is
See?
Jeff. That's so
yeah,
lame.
it's not my thing,
Thank
but I let everybody else have the fun. And a lot of our friends are having fun dressing up as their favorite country music stars.
I want to see. You talked about this earlier. I'm dying to see
Yes.
this woman.
28-year-old Kathy Lianos, I think I'm saying her name right. She
Okay.
is from California. She decided she wanted to be Luke Combs for Halloween.
All
I
right.
think we have a photo. Look at that.
Oh,
She got the beard.
That's really good.
She got the Columbia shirt. She got the hat. And she said she was determined to win the costume contest at her local bar. That was like the goal, right? This has gone viral now. She did a post on TikTok to One Too Many, Luke's song. It got 1.2 million views. And Luke's team actually they're in her comments saying 10 out of 10, no notes, you ate with this.
Oh,
Like the kids say,
Certainly-
you ate with this.
certainly that's worth tickets to some Luke
Right?
Combs show
They've
somewhere.
got to do
right?
something, yeah. So I'm like, okay, you may not have won,
and
I'm not
have her
sure.
dress up.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
she's got to come
Yeah.
out on stage.
I
with
was
him.
just gonna say, bring her out on
Bring
stage.
her out.
Have her do
I mean,
a song.
that's commitment too
Yeah.
to the cause. I've also seen a little girl dressed up like Megan Maroney
Oh yeah.
in the blue sparkly dress and
Yeah.
in the white cowboy boots, and
Right.
she's doing "Am I Okay?" And if you've ever seen Megan do "Am I Okay?" you know she's like, "Am I okay?" And then she twirls.
Yep.
The little girl starts
That's
twirling.
cute.
But Lainey Wilson, we talked about Morgan Wallen with the cutoff flannel. There are a lot of
Jelly
options.
roll.
Jelly
Yeah.
roll.
Dolly.
If you feel
Yeah.
so inclined.
Every night on the Laney tour, there's tons of mini Laneys
Mini Laneys
out there.
So many.
I'll have to show you this later. But they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. But 2 years ago, our stage manager at the Grand Ole Opry, Tyler Bryant, went as me.
Wow.
I
So
need to
I'll
see
have to
photos.
show you the photo of me.
Gotta
as-
see photos of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no longer sure that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but
You're like, yikes.
But-
don't do that again.
nonetheless. So
Well, we've got to say congratulations to Carrie Underwood and Cody Johnson. Their song is now platinum. Their
Great
song's now
song.
platinum. It's such a great song. I love them together. This was a duet that I didn't know I needed. It was one of those things until I heard it. And I think we had him on the podcast and he was teasing like, I've
Yes.
got this song coming up and it's going to have somebody big on it. And we were like, just tell us who it is.
Right.
And he's like, I can't, it's too big.
Yep.
And now we know he was right.
Yep.
He was right. It's a big song. It's a smash. So congratulations to Cody Johnson and Carrie Underwood.
And,
on
not
the
only is she
platinum album.
obviously a great lead vocalist. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? But, she also had the monster hit with Jason Aldean. So she is a
Absolutely.
heck of a duet singer, too. And that's
Yes.
a different skill set.
For
I-
sure. I mean, absolutely. It's like she's just you put her on anything and she's just the best.
Yeah. Well, she was just at the Opry a
I
couple of weeks ago
know,
for
I
4
know.
shows. From our A Cup House studios on the Grand Ole Opry Plaza. Welcome back to Coffee Country and Cody. Billy Boy with the morning off. I'm Charlie Matos. That's Amber Anderson. Annie and I at my spot over there, living in Charlie World over at the board.
Fun. Super fun and not stressful at all.
A lot of buttons over there. And it's good to see an old friend and a frequent visitor to us, but the first time in our new home, Jenny Tolman. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you've been to the hotel a bunch of times, but I can't believe this is your first time with us here.
I know. It's so beautiful. I was just saying, it's got that new studio smell. It is a good time.
And it's kind of cool to look right out and there's the Grand Ole Opry. You can reach out and touch it.
It's pretty special.
So,
you got a good thing going here.
Yeah. So what's interesting for you, we've got a lot of exciting things to talk about, and certainly the road is really, really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But, there are many artists who dream of coming to Nashville, and, it's their bucket list destination, and at a certain age they pick up and move everything here. But you grew up in Nashville, so this was kind of always in your backyard, right?
Born and raised.
Yeah.
Yep. I grew up going to the Grand Ole Opry right out this window and grew up around music. My dad was a singer, and so I just grew up around country music and never really knew that wasn't normal.
Yeah. Well,
until I got into the music industry myself, and I was like, I guess that everybody's parents don't do this, do they?
Well, it's like Kelly's daughter Reese, Kelly Sutton, who's frequently here, and her young daughter asking a friend, so what channel is your mom on? And say, well, my mom isn't on a channel. But for folks who aren't familiar, tell folks a little bit about your dad.
So he was in a group called the Indian River Boys. Mm-hmm. They were put together by Burt Reynolds, nonetheless. And so I always say it's Burt Reynolds' fault that I'm a country singer. So he moved them to Nashville, and they sang on Garth's No Fences record and did a bunch of really cool stuff, and ended up being born here because of that.
Nice.
So now I wear his clothes on stage. If
Isn't
you watch
that cool?
the road this past week, you'll see that.
I love that.
Yes.
It's
that
so
you get
fun.
to
He was in the era of the cool rhinestone suits and the fringe, and all that's coming back now so hard. So I've taken it and repurposed it for myself now.
I'm obsessed with this.
Yes.
I love the secondhand stuff.
It's so fun.
Especially because it is coming back, so strong.
Yes.
And I mean, obviously you need stage wear too.
That's right.
Why not just borrow from Dad's closet?
Yeah.
So
That's
great.
awesome.
But it's so
very
cool
special.
too, because there's history to it, so it's
Yes,
really special.
It's I got him up on stage with me.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So, well, take us back. I think the first time we ever met you in studio was with a project, and we were introduced to the land of Jennyville.
Yes, you were. So Jennyville, gosh, Dave Brainerd, my husband, who will be on here in a second. Before we were ever dating or anything like that, we were writing together for about a year, and we started noticing that, we kind of write from this crazy little place with all these characters. And so, taking a card out of Dennis Lindy, he was like, well, what if we just put all these characters into a place like he did and call it Jennyville? Like he had Lindyville. And I was like, well, I mean, I guess if you say it, it's okay. I don't want people to think that I like myself that much.
Right.
So he named it, and it was honestly kind of this thing that we just did for fun. Like when we were writing, it wasn't going to be this public facing Jennyville thing,
Right.
but it kind of naturally evolved into that. We started bringing our writers into it, and we're going to Jennyville today when we write. And it became a really fun thing to include my fans in, and especially for the album release for There Goes the Neighborhood. And it just turned into this fun little place that took all of the parameters off of creativity, and you could really just say whatever, because it wasn't me, it was a character saying it.
Yeah. It's like doing a musical. It's truly, because you're
exactly.
inhabiting the place and so.
And that's what I loved about country music to begin with. When I was a kid, just hearing all the stories and the characters, and you get to tell different storylines that you might not have said yourself, but somebody out there has, and somebody's going to relate to it.
Yeah.
You will love who the mayor of Jennyville was.
Okay, I gotta know.
Our dear friend Jeannie Seeley was the mayor of Jennyville, and I know she was so close to you, and but she was so supportive of so many female artists. She was the rock there for a lot of people.
She was so incredible. It's crazy. She's one of those spirits that it's almost like she's not even gone, because she's still here in so many ways. I've got a couple pieces of hers in my closet that she'd be like, Jenny, come over and pick something out. I want you to wear this. And
that's a pretty good Seeley.
Thank you. I've got very good. Very good. No, I loved her so much. We got to do a duet together called Who'll Be Your Fool on the deluxe version of There Goes the Neighborhood. And that was one of the biggest honors, getting to sing with her and have having her be the mayor of Jennyville.
Yeah.
We got her this hot pink sash. It was rhinestone. It said mayor of Jennyville.
Didn't she show up to the album release night or
Yes,
something?
she came to the album release with it, and she was the host. It was amazing.
Of course she did.
Oh, she loved every minute of that.
Every bit of
As
it.
well I should be the mayor.
Exactly.
Who else would be the
Wore
mayor?
that with a badge of honor.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was so incredible.
Gosh. All right. So let's fast forward. Well, first off, before we fast forward to the road, give us the family update, because we got a little one here making his
Yes.
WSM debut. We'll have to have him say hi at least when Dave comes out.
We'll try.
Okay.
I call him the Barnacle.
Okay.
'Cause he's quite the barnacle to me. His name's Bear, and so he's very, very much attached to mommy. So he's playing outside right now. But yeah, he will be 3 on New Year's Eve. Is his birthday.
He's a
which
good-looking
is
young man.
He's so sweet.
Yeah.
His little vest that
I
he's
know,
wearing.
he has this
I
little
was like,
puffer
look at him.
vest. He's the sweetest. He's a drummer, like already. He's
Oh,
got a
wow.
drum set in his room, and actually the road came and filmed at our house, and he's drumming on there. So you can catch him on TV playing his hi-hat groove.
Wow.
You know what? I have seen so many little ones drumming. I think like Justin Bieber has like this really like early video of him just
Really?
like banging on kitchen chairs.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, when you are born with that, you are born with it.
Yes.
Like I love that. I'm going to have to like watch that because
It's
I'm
a
obsessed.
thing. Like even when I was pregnant, Dave would look at me and he would just be like, he's going to be a drummer. And I was like, why would you
Okay.
say that? Like, why would you
Dave,
wish that
what
upon
do you
us?
know?
I know. I thought the mother was supposed to have intuition, but no, he knew. And sure enough, he is a drummer.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that rhythm is just
Yeah.
intuitive without it is you. You don't even
Exactly.
have to think about it.
Well, and I
Yeah.
wonder how much of it too is like him hearing the beat
Uh-huh.
while I was pregnant. 'Cause
Yes.
I remember I played a show in Alaska when I was like 8 months pregnant. It was like the last week that I was allowed to travel.
Uh-huh.
So of course I'm gonna go play in Alaska. Why not? And I had my guitar and I was playing in the middle of the show, and I just feel him kicking to the beat,
To the
kicking my
beat?
guitar. I'm like, this is crazy. So yeah, he's got it.
And that's a whole new skill set. No matter how well you can sing on a normal day, singing
Yeah.
8 months, I can't even. Like Haley Witters was just at the Opry, and she's
gosh.
this was her final show before
was it
the
really?
baby in
Oh,
like
that's
30
exciting.
days. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's a whole new
It's-
way of doing everything, right?
Yeah, you
Breathing
gotta learn how to
and-
breathe
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. I'm like, just breathing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't say it's gonna sound great, but you're gonna hear something.
right.
I'll show up.
All right, so we're going to get to the road, I promise, because that is really exciting. CBS Television, Blake Shelton, Keith Urban,
Yes,
Gretchen
crazy.
Wilson.
So
So,
crazy.
we got a lot of good stories. You went viral. I saw that on the other day too.
Yes.
We'll talk about the wardrobe as well in a second. But first off, before that, we're going to play some music. So tell us all about Maybe Next Month.
Yes. So maybe next month is honestly probably the scariest song I've ever released. I woke up in the middle of the night and the whole song was in my head already. Like I've never had this experience where I literally did not have to write this
It wrote itself
at all.
Yeah.
I just had to grab my phone and put it down in my notes app. So it's like God placed it in my brain and was like, here, this needs to be said. And it is about infertility and trying to conceive. And my best friend is going through IVF right now. She literally texted me yesterday. She started her 5th round of IVF yesterday. And just walking with her through that and seeing, it's such an uncomfortable topic because nobody knows what to say. Everybody wants to say the right thing, but you don't know what that is.
Right.
And there really is no right thing to say. It's a horrible situation.
Yeah.
And you just kind of have to sit there and be with them in this. And I feel like that's what this song does, and it went viral on TikTok. It blew up because there are just thousands of women who need to hear that, oh, someone understands what this feels like and what I'm going through. And I can play this for my husband or for my friend, for my family, whoever it is that doesn't understand that, they ask me, what am I feeling? Here's what it is. And as a songwriter, that's like the biggest blessing that you can ask for, is to have somebody relate to your music and your words on such a deep level. So I'm very grateful for whatever reason that God decided to give me this song and share it with those who need it.
All right, this is brand new from Jenny Tolman.
From the Assembly Food Hall acoustic desk, this is Coffee Country and Cody.
Well, yes, it is. And Jenny Tolman is our guest this morning. Dave Brainerd, Grammy nominated and guitar slinger, songwriter, producer, dad,
He didn't even
husband.
know how to introduce
Because
you.
I know there's
So many
like
things.
there's too many things. So
He wears a lot of
yeah.
hats.
And welcome back, because Dave was just with us about a week ago in
with
studio.
John Wolf here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, it's great to have you back.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Good morning.
we teased a couple of times, but we really haven't talked about it much. So we need to. Let us talk about The Road.
Yes.
New reality show on CBS. And you hear music reality show, and your brain just defaults to the kind of competition that, and nothing wrong, because Idol is fine. I love The Voice.
Yes.
But this is such a great out-of-the-box idea.
Yes.
Blake Shelton, Keith Urban, Gretchen Wilson, all involved. First off, just for those who haven't seen it yet, just tell people what the concept of the show is, and then how you got to be involved.
Yeah, so there's 12 of us artists going out, hitting the road with Keith Urban, opening for him every night, and playing real live shows, and those people in the audience vote on who gets to stay on the tour and who goes home. So it's all been filmed already, so you're just watching it play out, because it's truly about, okay, who is winning over this real audience in real time. You know, it's Keith Urban's crowd. You got to kind of adjust to make your decisions based on that, because your opener, you know, who your headliner is kind of determines who your crowd is. So it's all about just that learning process and life on the road, and showing that reality that's not always super duper shiny and sparkly like like the shows look. And so it's so cool. I want to say like November of last year, I got an email from the production team. They're like, hey, we're really interested in Jenny. We'd love to interview her for this. And, you know, I'm kind of hesitant at first, because like you said, like we all know the like singing shows. I'm like, I don't know. But as I learned more about it, and I did an interview with them and started doing some auditions and stuff like that, it started to sound really, really cool, because we get to do our original music, and it's showing the real life aspect, and it's about winning over this crowd, entertaining, performing, not just like, oh, who can sing the highest note and who can do the craziest riff at this part. You know, it's truly about connecting with a crowd. And they were so intentional with getting artists who have been seasoned and who have been on the road. You know, I'm 29 years old, and at 29, I was one of the youngest. And that's incredible, you know, because it was truly about the music for them. And they wanted artists who have been grinding for a long time and just needed this exposure that this show will bring.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We were talking about this the other day. It's funny you mentioned, you know, opening for someone who you're playing for their crowd, right? But I think it's hard to tell anymore, because we don't have ticket stubs anymore, because everything is now just everything's digital. So, but I think I've probably been, not counting Opry shows that I've worked, just concerts, I've probably been to close to 500 in my life, right? I have never missed an opening act.
Really?
Yes. Now, I've come very close due to certain family members who are slow getting out the door,
Right.
but I've at least caught some of that opening set. I've never missed an opening act. Yes.
Yeah.
Who shall remain nameless.
That's incredible.
Good morning,
though.
Renee.
Yeah.
That
I am
shows your
not a-
love
Yes,
for the music.
yes. But it really is. It's an art form. It is,
Yeah.
because it's always a little nervous on stage, I guess. But it's one thing if you're playing for people who, you know, your name is on the bill, they're buying a
Right.
ticket, they know you're the one they're coming to see,
Yeah.
as opposed to you're the one they're seeing, waiting for the person they're coming to see.
And you want to like hype them up for that person.
Right.
So, you know, if I'm opening for Keith Urban, I probably shouldn't do too many ballads, because he's like this big rocker,
Right.
you know, so you kind of have to change your set list and adapt to that. But yeah, you were asking how I got chosen, and this is a funny story. The callbacks were in LA back in February. And I always say, I'm like, I would rather give birth again than ever do that. Because it was this cold, sterile room with no vibe whatsoever. And 30 CBS executives and Blake Shelton
30?
sitting. Yes.
Oh, Lord.
And Blake just sitting front and center, and just you and your guitar, and you just play and you audition. And I was like, and I mean, it was the scariest thing I've ever done.
It couldn't be
But-
more different than the show. Like that you're out with like vibes and people and whatever, and in this sterile
But
room.
thankfully, at least on the show, like you've got the lighting, the sound, you've got the audience.
That's
and
why I
then,
was like, they could have made it a little more like
right.
the
No, I think
environment
they
you would
wanted
be
to like
walking
test
into.
us and see how we handled the pressure. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I blacked out, I think, but I guess I did okay, because then we made
Sure
it.
you did. That's so crazy.
And for the performance itself, it's solo acoustic. You have a band. You have your band. You have a band that learns your songs. Or
We have a band. We have the most incredible incredible band. Oh my gosh. So we all share, and even Keith uses the same band on the road. And so they learn our songs every single week. They're incredible. I mean, you
kind of like the
Nashville
Opry band.
musicians.
Kind of like our Opry band every night.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Do they have to approve the songs that you do? Like, do you have to submit your song that you're doing?
Yeah,
like,
so we
before?
submitted all of our songs like months in advance because clearing sync licenses and all of that, you know. So yeah, we had a bit of a head start on what songs we knew we wanted to play, but it kind of, you know, as the show goes on, you'll see the song choices are very important. And when we submitted these songs, we actually didn't know that Keith was our headliner because we were still in the casting process.
Wow.
And they were keeping everything very under wraps because they didn't want anything. So we were cast before we even knew who we were opening for.
Wow.
Yeah. So you'll see that kind of start to play out with some song choices.
That was gonna be my next question. Is like, how do you ensure that you're lining up the song choices? Or I guess you can't really change anything if you had to submit them ahead of time.
You just gotta entertain, honey.
Wow. Well, it premiered Sunday, October 19th, so just a couple of weeks ago. Did you have a big watch party at your house?
We did. We had actually not at my house because I couldn't fit that many people in our living room.
That's a good problem.
We got it's a neighborhood clubhouse, I guess is what you would call it, which is basically just a giant living room with a big TV, and had a bunch of friends and family come.
Nice.
It was so much fun.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. All right. So CBS, obviously the home, the voice.
Yes.
And Gretchen Wilson is kind of the road manager, momager, I guess.
She's we called her our road momager.
Yes.
She is, it's so funny because when I first met her, I was so scared of her. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. But she's the sweetest person.
Yep.
Like, seriously, anytime someone would go home, she would come on the bus crying. She's like, I love you guys so much. She played us the original work tape of Redneck Woman the day that her and John Rich wrote it.
Wow.
And it was just them and the guitar, and it was so cool. And she's got so many stories. I mean, Gretchen Wilson, like, hello.
Yeah.
But just everything that she's done for women in country music, and hearing the things that she's had to go through and being inspired by that. I mean, it was like we were getting a masterclass in every portion of filming because we had Gretchen on the bus with us. We had Keith literally performing, and we get to be their side stage watching him every night. Blake giving us this feedback, helping us out. I mean, it was like the learning process of the whole thing was incredible. Like, I think I'm such a more confident artist because of it, because I got to learn so much from them. So I'm very grateful.
Well, and you know, the crazy thing about Gretchen is before Redneck Woman, before Here for the Party, she was ready to call it quits.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a pep talk from John Rich, I think, that kind of really kept her in town. So she knows what it's like to be at all levels, you know. She
had
gets
the baby.
it. Yeah.
And so it was, so we definitely connected a lot on all of that, and it's very inspiring.
All right. Well, The Road on CBS. Jenny Tolman, our guest. We'd love for you guys got guitars. We'd love for you to do one live for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think we're going to do the one that I did on the very first episode of The Road. This is I Know Some Cowboys.
Okay.
Count off. 2, 3.
Oh, that's some mighty fine 9 a.m. picking. There's 9 p.m. picking, but 9 a.m. picking's a totally different thing. Jenny Tolman, Dave Brainerd live in studio. Jenny featured on the new CBS show, The Road, Sunday nights on CBS. So listen, after you watch the Titans lose to the Chargers, enjoy the night and watch Jenny on The Road this Sunday on CBS. So thank you for coming to see us.
Thank you so much.
No, that's
for
a very accurate portrayal of what's going to happen on Sunday.
I mean, honestly, yeah. You know, we got to go to the Titans game a couple of weeks ago on premiere day for The Road, and we were all cheering so hard, and it didn't happen.
No, it's not happening a whole lot.
No.
So, yeah. But it is great to see you. Thanks for coming to see us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, always a pleasure. Thanks. So, all right, that's Jenny Tolman. And this is Coffee, Country, and Cody. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. We got Bear. We got our quick cameo.
Oh,
quickly as we say goodbye. Here he comes.
Hi, Bear.
All right.
Say hi.
There he is.
Say hi.
He's got snacks.
He's like, nope,
His Coffee, Country, and Cody debut. All right, there we go. Bye, everybody. Thank you.